I'm looking forward to this. Yeah. Yeah! Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here, we're here looking at MAZZEL's J.O.K.E.R. The dance practice has officially dropped, which is why I went ahead and we're taking a look at it now. I normally don't look at drops of groups I've never watched before unless it's the start of a marathon for a group or it's a debut of a group, unless I have a lot of individuals in the comments recommending away, and that's exactly what happened. So I am excited for this, and I don't know what to expect. Some of you told me it's gonna be really fun, and if I've enjoyed BE:FIRST or Hana or other J-pop groups, they're gonna be one that I'm going to enjoy as well. So I don't know what to go in expecting, except just expecting to have a great time. I do know one of the members of this group was in one of the rounds of D-League, so I've seen his movement quality before, but I couldn't tell you who it was. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hey! Okay. Let's go. I hope their dance practice is fixed cam. I really want to see how this translates in their transitions. A lot of different street styles representing, which is fun. A lot. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I have a feeling, I thought I wasn't gonna guess, but maybe I do get to guess who I think was in D-League. Was it my guy in the black with the white accents in his hair? I like that. The spelling's fun. Okay. This song has a 2000s like upbeat serenade about it. Yeah. That's who my guess is today. Is that guy in the center right now. Was on D-League, so I've seen him before. Or maybe that guy right there. Both are great. Heavy boogalooing popper and you got a breaker. That's cool. This is giving a commando vibe, which is fun. Ooh. Well, it's rude to just ruin a camera like that, but I get it. Keita by RHT. Have I seen a Keita before? Is that somebody from this group? Sky High, I know Sky High. I love it. They're just playing. Do we even know what we're doing? Which is what I find funny. I really do wish that was subbed. I think it would have been really fun. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So, I'm honestly kind of glad we're waiting for the dance practice, because as really fun as that was, I really think what makes the routines like that super captivating is how do you translate it to stage? Or how do your transitions and your levels and your dynamics, how do you convert that to like a 2D, fixed cam perspective? That's very different, right? And a one take at that. So I'm looking forward to this. Yeah. Yeah! Catch it. Let's go. Yeah. We already have a top rock setup, which is really fun. Yeah. Ooh. Just a walk-on's enough. Come on now. Okay. Oh! I really like that sequence a lot. And there's a lot of internal sequences, which you don't notice on camera until you see it, the camera taken away. It's so interesting. Okay. Yeah. Love that part. I love that part. And there, this is where our commando is starting. Love it. Okay. if you did not know, they're spelling Joker every time. J.O.K.E.R. Very nice. Love fixed cams so much. Yes. In a nutshell, I enjoyed it. I think this is fun. I really like whenever you get to see like heavy fundamentals, but you see them varied with different speed changes and complexities on top of it. It definitely allows you the privilege of just getting to enjoy, and it just makes it impressive knowing that they are most likely singing live. In the J-pop scene, that is something that you do. You sing live while you do this, which I also find very impressive. Honestly, just doing these types of techniques can be very fatiguing, and so great for them. I do believe though, one of my guys, just as an observation, my guy right here, he is probably the popper of the group. I could tell his technique is different than most of the individuals there. And a lot of times your goal would be for the synergy and everybody to be on the same page and they all execute it around the same way. Now, I know in a lot of cases though, just like I've noticed with a lot of J-pop groups, especially from this label, if they're from the same label, that we strive for individuality over synchronicity, which is why I'm totally okay with not, making that as a something critical. If that's what we want, that's absolutely fine. It still is really nice to appreciate the techniques that we're doing despite that, right? So here we go, from the top. So we clearly see a b-boy and a popper through and through. So I like the switch up on this whole beginning. It gives me like, oh man, it's not, what is it? Like, what do we call electric boogaloo's? It's like, whenever you see people do like the old school snaking, old school cobra, old school tutting, when they all set it up, it just gives old school in the setup, I think is kind of what we're just going to call it on the funk genre. So more so in the boogalooing umbrella. That's what we're going to call that. I like the different directions. The setup's fun. That also gives me like a snake. Now I'm coming out in what is it, in a little barrel situation, like you play the instrument and it comes out. It's cool. So from there, he's going to an Indian top rock there. They end up taking their hands over, they cross it out of it. He ends up crossing and then he just turns out of it. I really like the hand waves too, and because I've just been taking some snaking and cobra classes as of late, my brain brain and mind, same thing, and my eyes are more sensitive to picking up on those nuances, because that's what my body has been physically empathetic with as of late. So it is fun. I like the fact that we have our wave going in, and shout out to the b-boy, our breaker, for being able to dive in mighty fine. Even this little head here also gives that little, I'm a snake vibe. It's fun. Then they do a little shoulder shrugs. He goes, ha ha ha, cool. And then they have their arms here. Now I've heard this move right here. I've heard it called an Apache, but please hold. Okay, did a little digging. So yes, so he was doing an Apache, APACHE is what this right here is, right there, right? I like that they all joined in on that. Then he goes, they hit it over, boom, with a Brooklyn top rock out of that, which is nice. They pull different directions out of it too. And then from there, he ends up going with the kick and forward. I was debating, and I also looked, was that a Webster or was that a front salto? So I think because he kicked with one leg and finished on two, I'm going to call that a front salto. Please, if you're a breaker, let me know what you would classify that as. I'm going off of the finishing point, not the starting point for that. Because normally when I see a Webster done, they finish on one leg. So anyway, moving on. I just think it's so fun. Whenever I have to go and triple check my vocab, we're on to something. Is really just that's just what makes it fun. Normally, I would say CHOREOGRAPHER Rocks is the group that makes me have to go in my breaking word bank. But anyway, moving on from there, really fun. So then we end up having a little duo go on here. So we go pop out of it, or we're having a little interruption, or just muscle engagement there to help create an interruption or a pop of the chest there. And then they do a little scoop out of it too. So not doing the same thing. Upper body's deviating a little bit. He's doing more of a legato, more waving. Influence of the upper body, my guy over here with the black. Then he does a switch over. Click, 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 click. I like the switch up of the arms to notice that their bodies, both of theirs, are matching. Very similar in the torso and the legs. Really cool. I like a little step out on that. More like a really, really quick rooftop on the lower half, right? It's cool. The little pop, pop, pop. I like the hit. We hear all the basses and how we're hopping into our next spot. I find it to be really fun. They bring it back, da da da. Really nice choice out of that. And they go a little salute throw out of that too. And they go da-da-da-da, bring the arms up, and then we travel it down. Really fun. Kick over through, do-do-do-do, and then like the little pullbacks on that is cool. On the torso, and then we end up having them go every other. So we have our previous little duo, they are facing the same direction, about to go out of frame, and then we have our next group go in. Pretty okay in how we transition in and out of it. Like I will take walking in frame significantly more than a basket run. If you don't know what a basket run is, it's that little ninja run that you see people do, especially in mega crews, to get to their next spot to not be distracting, but all I see is a basket run in cases like that. So that's why for me, I will take a walk on, no problem, especially if the concept works for it, for sure. Anyway, so I like the switch up there, and it does look like we have opposition of our arms. We have one of my guys in the red, takes his arms high-low, and the other guy go low-high. So that's cool. Then they end up taking the hands. Notice that we're being intentional with the direction of it. Our fingers are what's guiding that, and then we're following it through with the rest of our hand. They hit da-da, bum-bum, and we place it click, 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 click. Now, I feel like there's an artist, Rain. He has a track that feels similar to this, da-na-na-na, na-na-na-na. But I also think there are tracks in that 2000s realm pop scene that sound like this. So it really does have a nostalgic twang about it in a really cool way. But also, it kind of ties into the like the older fundamentals that we're seeing here, and the structure of them and the pacing of it too, which I find to be fun. Not pacing and camel locking, but like the pace, the tempo of it, and how we're keeping up. It's cool. Arm swings are fun. Then you have a little tension. Take the arm. I like the rebound on that, which is really fun. With the hand, we end up pull ball change out of it, present the arms, and then we travel it through, and then we dip it down, the hit, and then we have some subtlety with the head. We end up seeing that a couple times throughout, but not in a way that's redundant, but it's repackaged. It is complementary. So that's cool. We slide in. I like the claps on here with the low highs, and we have everybody walking on. Part of me would like seeing them, walk on tempo, but having this add-on feel pretty organic. I like that. It's cool. I have the little salutes on that too. And then we end up doing zigzag waves, what we would call that, which is cool. Different levels. Ooh, ooh. Even the harmonies and how we're like approaching the track feels that, oh man, it's that 2000s boy group twang, man, of the Western side. It's cool. And then we end up doing, I don't know if we're doing not scarecrow or puppeting. I'm not even going to call it that. We're not doing any other fundamentals outside of the pose of it. But that, I like how we're leaving this kind of on, I keep shaking my hand on the camera. I like how we're leaving it there, making it a nice little moment. And then we have it, our levels still represented. You have your center point right there. Oh, how many people are in this group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Are we missing anybody? I don't know. Remember, I think this is my first watch. I never really know nowadays, which is kind of cool because of how much I've seen. I don't know if I've seen a group before. I don't think I have seen this group. With J-pop, I haven't seen as many groups so it's a little bit easier to keep track. But it's still really fun, though. Like, I like that we're navigating through different realms of different groups and what they're known for, and the common denominator is they freaking can square up. Like, the fact that you can have somebody from a J-pop group compete on D-League and hold it down and they don't stick out like a sore thumb, like, that's commendable. Like, goodness, you know what I mean? The punches on that is fun. And then we go ooh, and we're rolling through the ball of the foot through to create a nice gliding influence of the movement. It did look like my guy closer to the front, my guy right here, didn't feel like he was really following through on the feet as much, but it could be trying to maintain the position that he's in. That's what I can also chalk that up to. But anyway, so I like the base with the heel to help knock that. Everything's a little bit more rigid, so we're doing a true rebound on that, which is fun. We kick 3 times, doom, 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 and then we move. They take it through. Not ball change, but we pivot to drop down, and I like that we bring it through. Do-do-doom, do-do-doom. What do we end up doing there? Let's see. Oh, so it goes little ball change, but we roll through the ball change versus making it very clear. We roll through it. And then we have our pose, and then we have my guy in center. He's the only one facing us. Everyone's facing back, but I like the levels. Little sways. Some of us are using our legs, some are using our hips. So that's subtle, but you can still get the point across. They all take their bodies out and around. Wherever our feature is, that's what they're going around, which I like. It's not true center, because you have some of my guys outlired over on the stage left side. It's kind of fun, though. And side note, we got to talk about these curtains. These curtains are probably really expensive because of how tall they are. Fabric, getting one piece of fabric that long costs money. So I'm telling you, we got some rich curtains up in the chat right now, and I like those stairs too. I'm just saying, we got more money than just the members. Those curtains tell on. Those lights are cool. So I like that we take it a little roller coaster down, and then we're doing it. Looks like we're ticking because strokes would be a little bit more subtle. Yeah, because we also have a little reverb coming on the tail end of it too. Yeah, he's reverbing it. That's ticking. Okay, cool. So we hit it through. I like that we hit it boom, boom on the basses. This does tie into our hand waves that we were doing a little bit earlier, right? And it goes, da, da, da. That's quick. We do a little zigzag here. And this is complementary to, like, exactly what I said. We saw this already shown in the beginning. So having it a little bit more full and more intertwined is something that doesn't catch us off guard there, right? And they hit it over, boom, and then we go and we place it back. We end up doing a cross, out, in, and then we travel the arms across, ting, ting, boom, boom. And I like this head right here. It's fun. And then we end up melting it in. The bass is on this, dun, 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 and then we place the hands out and up. Really nice. And they hit a little tap, tap, boom. Fun little wordplay moment there. And then we do some subtlety. Subtle fixed point of the hand, meaning that it's fixed in a particular space in the realm here. And you can move to and fro. It's like a pantomiming technique. It's cool. And then he has his own little moment where he does more of a zigzag wave into a trace, meaning that he has a wave, energy transfer, and he has a body part that makes it look like that body part is controlling the wave, even though it's not. So that was fun. So they cross it down very quick, going in a lunge-like position, right back up in no time. Crazy. That part is so fun. Shoot, 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 shoot. That's fun. Yeah, and then we go pat, pat. Oh, I love that. Out of everything in the whole routine, I can get with that so much. Then we take it over and we present. Here we go. And then they bring it through. I like that. It's like a little boxer bounce, but more rigid. So we're shifting our weight in a bounce, which is nice. And they go stop. And I like that they froze on the word stop. It's cool. And they bring it through. And everyone's heads are on the same page too. They're looking down all at the same time. It's cool. They end up doing it twice. So it goes to J.O.K.E.R. So they're spelling it out. E.R. I think, what was it? MAZZEL. Was it Master Plan? It was, I think there was a track by BE:1ST where they were doing something spelled out like that. It could also be Jet Boy Bangers. I don't freaking know. I'm telling you, things just mesh together. But all of them are great and they're fun. So it doesn't really bother me as much. But here, that I like the spell out. It's cool. J.O.K.E.R. And they end up doing it twice, and then they end up accenting on the top end, and then we're all waving through. Some people are speed changing and melting. Some of my guys are popping off in the front. Their melts are really nice. I like the quickness of it too. It's really fun. They do little ball changes as they travel it over. He has this little moment here, dun, 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 and I like that they have this opposition moment from the feature from one of my guys that was more in center. I don't know if he was. Yeah, he was my previous feature, so I like this interaction where everybody is low, and then they all come up, they go hit, and they flick it down. They catch that sound, and then they go away off camera. Half my guys do, and you know what? They're running off. I don't care. I will take a run off over a basket run until I die, probably. I've seen enough basket runs to have a basket factory, honestly. There's so many. I like the little cross, take the hands, and they swing down, which is cool. And I like the triple 1 and a 2 and a 3, which is nice. Hit over, and then we fold it. Dun dun. He has a lot of these little head accents, which I find to be pretty fun. It does remind me of, there was another guy on, was it BE:1ST? He has this, and you guys are probably like, oh my god, you keep talking about BE:1ST. They're one of the only J-pop groups that I have seen a lot of material from, more so than anybody else. And then K-pop's the only realm, and I don't really bring up K-pop as much unless it's in sound or in like a certain sequence. This kind of stuff I'm seeing more in J-pop, which is really cool. But this little head accent that we're seeing here, it's from my main dancer, the choreographer for BE:1ST. I see him do it pretty often, which is kind of cool. But also they were doing it like that in their newest one was a spacecraft, which is kind of cool. I like that little subtle, slow milli rat coming out of it. And they end up doing a slide in with the leg, which is cool. He has a little pop, so a little moment on the sides, which is nice. I'm honestly very surprised at our breaker, who's like super fundamentally sound. He blends in very well in the popping sections with everybody else. It's very commendable, honestly. Yeah, they go ooh, ooh, and they bring it up 1 Iana, 2 Iana, and we go knock, 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 which is nice. And then they end up retracting it, so they go forward, and then they have a moment, and then bringing it back. and they go 1 and 2 and 3. So I like the heel on that. They kick. Same thing as what we were already seeing, but notice the formations where it makes it a little bit more repackaged on the ooh. It's cool. And I like my guy in the back. I do appreciate the fact that my features are not always in center. They're exploring, and it kind of feels like an Easter egg hunt, but I don't have to work so hard. Like, okay, everyone's doing the same thing. Who's my feature? It's I see my feature in the back, and they did a really good way of revealing him. And where's the next feature going to come in? It's like that curiosity suspense thing, which I love. I love that. That's great. The sways are nice, or the swings on the arms is nice. And they end up taking their body, moving it through. Boom, da-doom, da-doom. So all that. It's really fun. And they go, die. They go, and then nice little vibration. That we hear there. Travel it up. Dum, 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 dum. And then we go pressure, like there's like tension. So they have it accented, and then they put pressure on it on the tail end, which is cool. And then they knock it back. Place it back, and then we have our hips push forward. It's like we have a belt that we've just unbuckled as we press those hips forward, which is cool. And then they do a little head ISO knock, click, click. Getting that, having a whole group do it as just a transition move, I always find to be really interesting. Instead of making a head ISO a focal point, because it is really tricky to get if you've never done one before, or if you don't understand isolations that well in the upper body. A lot of times you can get ISOs in the arms and in the chest, but getting the neck and the shoulders to be able to work to where it looks like your head's dislocated, which it's not, it's an illusion. I mean, it's normally people want to show that off because of the work it takes to do it, but for them to just throw it as a literally a 0.5 second move, shout out to them for that. Goodness. And then they bring it through. I like how they take the arms in, and then the knee is complementing it. They go in, and then they go and they take the arms out, which is also fun. And they bring it up. I love that. And then they go a little tap tap. That's cute. Tap tap forward, which is nice. And then they go a little sway and a sway. It's fun. Everybody else keeping their arms nice and firmly crossed. And then we have this little finger is really cute. And then you knock it boom down, and it goes shish 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 shish. That's fun. Yeah. That's fun. They could do the whole thing just that. I can watch it. Yep, hands up right now. Yep, oh, that's great. Okay, same thing as before. Now, some of my guys are adding this little swing about it. Some of them aren't. It's just little details like that. If they wanted to be known for cleanliness, those would be little components you would look at. But they're getting the point across, which is great. I like the pickup. I like the knock is also fun out of that, too. I like the tension on that, which is fun. E-R, sway, okay. And he goes, come on now. That was fun. I like that little feature moment where he takes it and moves it over, getting us to our next spot. And then we have this moment, little body roll serenade moment, party of us. Out in. Now, normally you would see people go into a little butterfly on that, but we didn't fully commit to that, which I found interesting, right? Yeah, so we hit it. It's just more so like we're scooping up Meemaw spaghetti. It's more so that. Yeah, and then we go a little run and a run with the head. Subtle lifts on that, which is cool. There we go, tap, 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 and we're letting that, we're having one leg more anchored and the other leg traveling in, which is nice. And they go 1 and 2 and 3. It goes out in, and we travel to the inside, and we walk. Let's go. Yeah, traveling up, dum, 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 dum. Very nice on that part. Dun, dun. So we're hitting all the syllables there. Nice, just like what we've seen before. It does feel more refined, but could it be because we're subtly focusing on our popper there, and it's very clear and readable in comparison to my guy with the red hair that doesn't have a hat on? I think that one felt a little bit more, I don't know, not unrefined, not wild, but it doesn't feel it's not as clear, but that's what gives it its charm. I think is what really felt different, but also the tone helped with that because it was whoever was featured in that moment. It was his tone, so he was doing it the way that matched for him, which was cool. But here it feels more structured, and I think part of it's because of where our eye is naturally wanting to go, which is cool. Now that right there, they're melting it in and out, so that feels like a butterfly on that, and I like how they have a subtle tilt in the torso over to the side so we can really see the CC happening there. And then he ends up placing it down, rotating it around. He ends up doing a freeze. Love it. I really love it. I think I've heard this. Is that a flag freeze? Maybe. See, now I gotta go check. I gotta trust myself more because I am remembering things pretty okay. So that is a flag freeze. You can do a one-handed flag freeze if you want to get spicy, but the fact that we're possibly having handheld mics on this is pretty wild. Or, you know, just singing in general. Like, can we please sing in a flag freeze? Like, that's wild to me. Crazy stuff. Crazy. Love it. Love it. Really, that's so fun. They bring it over and they go sha 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 once again. Sha sha sha. Boom, aim, over, boom. Really nice. They're literally like every base, the answer is yes, we hit. Crazy stuff. And now some are also like really accenting with the knees on this, and some are shifting the weight, so it is going to read a little different. But I don't mind it. It kind of it gives you freedom if you cover this to kind of do it the way that feels the most comfortable to you, because that's what it looks like here. But also on the opposite end, whenever you learn choreos that have a high degree of individuality, you don't have as much clarity on what the choreo actually is, because you don't know who's doing it technically correct. But also you have the opposite end of, if they're able to get away with not doing it 100% correct, so can you. So that's just perfectionist's worst nightmare when they cover routines like myself. It can get really frustrating when you don't really know like which one makes the most logistic sense based on how I've selected to do this. It's a very fascinating kind of shower thought on this. But it's still really fun though. E-R-J. And I like that some of my guys are using the chest and leaning into that, and the weight's really nice too. It makes it look bigger, right? So I like the hit. I really like how full he went. You saw his air time on that too. It allowed us to really easily see him. He wasn't front center. He was in the front, but he was on the side. So he came into our frame and into our line of sight, which was really cool. The kicks are really cool. Yeah, dun dun dun. I really like he took the hand, folded it, and pressed it over to the side. Made it catch the sound. And then having the foot complement is cool. Same thing as before. J-O in the head. So we ended up taking the head, making that the O, and then we have our hand, and then we have our two guys about to enter to a commando. Now, some of you are like, Jess, what's a commando? Normally, it's whenever you see in a 2v2, it's normally when that would come out a group versus a group in the battle circuits, where they are doing choreography or a sequence of memorized movement to a track that they know or don't know, is what it is. So it's a lot of times they would do it on a track they don't know, and it just works in BPM range, stuff like that. So here, this is really nice. Like, I like the organicness that this feels. I think that's the biggest thing they have going for him right now, which is cool. I like the, oh, hold on, what was he doing here? Okay, test the knowledge again, Jess. So he ends up doing a hook, then he ends up doing a one-handed, it was like a kick up. You normally see, it's not an alpha kick because that's under Campbell locking, but he ends up shooting the legs up. It's an assisted just pike kick. I know that's probably not right, but I love how he hooked it over the knee, and then look at the positioning on that. That was a fun freeze moment, and I like that they're all complimenting it on the side. It looks like that he's waiting to get that gimme 5 pass off, which is what we see there. Then he ends up rotating it through with his kicks on the base are nice. So that's really fun, travels it through. I am assuming this is more that can be a freestyle element on that, which is cool. And then all this, though, surrounding is not. So they take they take the arms over, they do a little clap, they open it, they do a little tap, and then they go, how's it going? So I like the travel out of that. They grab, so they're now doing stuff at the same time. They do an Indian top rock with a little toe tap coming out of it. Same thing as before, and then they do a little kick, and I like that we created more fullness out of it, which is really nice. E-R, J-O-K-E-R, boom. And then we end up going into a just an expedited popping sequence with a pop, 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 with the arm positioning, which is really cool. And then we go into a rotating, just, oh my gosh, what's the legs doing there? Let's see. Yes, they go pop, 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 and then we have a nice little just I'm probably going to call it a reverb with the head, but it's more of like a waddle out of it, which is cool. And they hit it on that crisp sound, they travel it around, and then they bring it across and into it, and then we knock it on the knee, arms go up, and I like the groove coming out of that's really fun. They look over, and then they take the arm up, and they have the arm, and then they take, instead of the toss up, It goes to like a little number 2, and then they travel that up too. And take the arms here, and then we end up doing a really fun, like ping-ponged trace down the body, and then we swing it with the knees, letting the arms travel past them, which was cool. And they go, na na na, come on now with a little bounce. Yeah, J.O.K.E.R. Same thing as before, K, and then hand over the mouth, and then we toss it up. And then I like the different positions that we have everybody at. So that was a fun little different finish point. That was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. So far, I mean, most things that I watch, not really, like, they're never boring. And I knew this wasn't going to be, especially for the amount of people that were really wanting me to look at this. I'm glad we got to watch it. This was fun. I really liked the popping and breaking presence on this. I think it was really well integrated together on a track like this. J.O.K.E.R. It teaches you to spell Joker. We're here in good companies and good vibes. So like I had said, if you want me to look at a particular group and you know I have not marathoned them before, flood the comments. Not just one person saying the same comment over and over again, but like getting a solid 10 to 15 people requesting something. You will have a higher chance of me looking at it a lot faster than if I just had the time in the schedule to do it. So that's just a fun little cheat code there. There are a couple things I will say that are a bit hard for me to look at if they are locked into a marathon, or if they are a part of a Patreon request sequence. I know there's a couple of requests that I've been asked to do that I can't do because of that reasoning. So just keep that in mind. I really do love to look at great stuff, and there's so much out there, and I just want to make sure I give everything its due diligence. You guys know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.